it's only running on 3 cylinders at the moment. It's starting only with mega choke, and I have to keep the choke on, so that sort of implies to me that I could have a bit of a problem with the carburetors. So now we're going to just grab the carbs and just give them a little wiggle. See if we can get them moving a little bit. This can be an ordeal. Yes, it's moving. And there we go. Here we go, baby. Right. Looks the carbs are out. Well, that wasn't actually all too bad. They came out nicely, and it's now time to take them apart. So I've really prepped everything here. So I was going to do the top ends of these and have a look at the diaphragms. I'm going to look at just one and have a little inspection of it to see how old it is, or if it's crispy, or if it's still doing the job. Basically what I want to do is I want to give the carbs a nice cleaning and a bath from the inside. So I'll be taking off the bowls here, and I don't want to turn them around, as I said. And first of all, I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to have a look to see what they're like. This is these are nice looking carbs, nice and clean, and I don't think I'm going to have to take them apart, like to take the rack off. You can actually take these off, that you can singly put them into the whoops. But what I'm going to be doing is, I think I'm going to be putting in 2 at a time. That means I'm going to be standing them up. This is not a major clean out. It's basically, what I want to do here is I want to find out what jet is clogged, and basically I think a jet is clogged somewhere, and once I've done that, I think this bike is going to run nicely. First inspection here, these carburetors look actually quite nice. Now I was just looking here, and this is the inlet fuel line. Now just pulled it off, and I don't know if you can see that, but this is all ripped up here, so this is definitely going to need replacing. So just leave that off anyway, and I just put it in the one box which is used for general purpose. And other than that, they look quite nice, these carburetors. Let's start taking them apart. So what I do then is I will just get my pen, which is here, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll wipe that off later. It's just because if you turn them around and all of a sudden you're throwing the number 4 stuff in the number 1 box, which is not great. So I've called this one number 1. I'm going to start off with this and see if I can crack them open. Yes. Crack them open is the sound you get. Did you hear it? And yeah, they're not too tight, which is fantastic. And I just crack them all open here. Yes, oh wonderful, this is going to be a dream. Let's do the top ones first. I'm going to be taking all the bowls off. Oh nice, this is going to be a dream. Guys, whoever put these carburetors together, I mean, they have been opened before, but they are perfect. Just get a good enough pressure on the screw before you turn it, and then you do it with sort of a bang, so that you sort of really do crack it open. Wonderful. So let's just take off the first bowl. It's got really hot outside. It's now close to 30 degrees. I actually started the job yesterday, and I started just cleaning up my workshop, and I got too hot. It was about 2 in the afternoon, and I was sweating so much. So let's have a little browse of these. Well, they're a little yellowy inside, but nothing fierce. I'm going to keep the gasket because the gasket actually looks nice. I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean over. Let that now screw in there. And the float is moving nicely. I'm going to knock them out anyway. This is the main jet here, and so we're going to take out the jets here. Now, there's no real need for me to take this apart. I mean, the rack itself is easily taken apart with these screws here, and then you have to take out the choke, I say line here, but that's actually all not necessary. I'm going to dump the carburetors in long ways and then just turn it around and let it soak that way. Right, I'm just taking off the last bowl here, and in fact the carburetors look nice and clean. Yeah, all of them. This is the last one here. Obviously you can see that these have been cleaned before and out before. I'm just going to rub these down here. I'm not going to put new gaskets in. Now all the floats are nicely moving. They seem to be also set up nicely as well, and so that's not the issue there. And there's not a lot of dirt in the carburetors. Sometimes if you rub your finger along, you can see gooey stuff, or at worst it's hard as resin, and that takes ages. So it's going to take one bath to clean these. And let's get out these puppies here now. So you get a nice fitting. That's not nice for me. A nice fitting screwdriver, one that's big enough to do the job. So I have a choice of two here, which I generally use. This one here might be too big, and it is. And this is going to be the one here. Yes, this is nice. So yes, crack it open. Right, and let's have a look at that. Okay, I've taken out the jets now, and I'm going to need a little hook because I'm going to be taking out the, so let me choose which one. I'm just going to use this one here. Right, so we have a little washer. That's that one, number 2, and number 1. Yeah, come on, baby. Never use force. So now I'm going to take out the pins here. I give them a little dash of WD-40 just to free them up. They can be a bit sticky sometimes. I don't expect it though. And everything else has been beautiful. Right, I'm going to knock out the pin with this here. This is flat at the end, so it's not going to damage it. And I don't like using a hammer. I prefer to use something lighter before I damage it. You can break off one of these here as well if you hit it too hard. I've seen people do that. I haven't done it myself yet. And then once I have it moving, I get the other one and just push it through. So that was really nice. Let's take out this one here. There we go, baby. Come on. And I just inspect the if it's ripped or anything like that. You probably see it straight away. So that's number 4. I'll just check that. Yes. And that's nice. That came out. So this little valve came out as well out of here, and you can see it's nice and conus. There's nothing breaking it. The little spring is still nicely working on it, so that goes back in there. I know all these words in German, so I have this little turned a little bit here, and the reason for that is because I have to usually get in here and try and get this pin out from an angle. Yes, so let's knock all these out here. The other one, the flat one, give it an initial blast, get it moving. There, come, baby. Ooh. That's it. That's it. If you hit them too hard, you can break the aluminium. You can repair them, but it's unnecessary. So let's get the second one out. So let's get a little grip on this. Come on, baby. I might have to leave this one in, but it doesn't matter. I can leave it in there. They look quite new actually to me. I'm going to just wash them down. I'm not going to put them in the bath because they don't need to be ultra clean. Just give them a little rub down. Come on, baby. That's it. All right. These only come out one way. If you've not done this before, they are a bit stubborn. So come on, baby, yes. And I'm going to take this one out. If I can. If not, I just knock it back in again. So that was number 2. Let's just knock it in a little bit. And number 3. Number 1. Also good. It's all good. Right, we're going to just leave that pin in and let's just knock it back in again so it doesn't come out straight away. This one too. Don't like hitting these hard. Right, lovely. Lovely bubbly. So I've just taken out one of the jets here actually, and I cannot see through it. It's there's one is free. Now the heat usually evaporates the fuel and then you can sort of see through it, but this is not happening. So that's a lot better. So they were definitely stuffed. So let's get that one in there. Now these are really important that you get a good screwdriver. I have a nice sharp one here with a nice flat edge on it. So I know I'm not going to break the screw. Feel first for the screw and then before you turn it. That doesn't feel nice to me. That could be broken. That feels better. I'm just going to give this a quick yes turn. And this one here. I'm not happy with number 2. I'm going to try, this one is not, yeah, this one's going. Yes, I got it. I think I got it. I'm going to try a different screwdriver. So what I've done is I've actually had a little look at the screwdriver and the jet, and this one fits into it beautifully without any sort of gaps. So this should be my baby here, but somehow or other I just can't seem to get any sort of a grip on that screw there, and it looks to me like it's been fairly messed up. So either I might have to, I know they're not, I'm gonna try it. I can get a little bit of a grip on it somewhere, but that is not nice. Oh. Yes. I can see bits and pieces of the of it, but that definitely has to come out one way or another. This one here is also not good. I don't know why somebody doesn't, if they have an issue with a with it, just get a new one. Right, that looks good to me, and this one here looks good to me too. So let me see if I can get these two out. Yes, there they are. Let's have a little look at them. This is the way I do it. That one's alright. This one looks alright too. It's just the one was stuffed. So that was 2, and that is 3. Sorry, 3 and 4. That's what it was. So 3 and 4. Number 2 is not coming out for me, but it's not staying in there. So here we are, folks. I've drilled it out with a small bit, and I'm going to drill it out now with a slightly larger one. That might be just too large. That could be it. That looks good to me. I like to use a nice fresh bit so that I don't just spoil my job straight away using rubbish. And there we go. That looks like a nice size to me. Now if I can get that centered and in there, I might be able to, oh come on baby, that's it. I'm gonna have to replace this little electrical drill here. It's seen better days. Okay buddy, now let's get us nicely centered. That's it. And that's it. I don't want to go too deep. This bit is very, very sharp. That's it. Nice. Now if I'm lucky, I can get this baby here to grip, and you turn it anti-clockwise. Now it is only brass, so yes, I think that's going to work for me. So I've got a nice tool made up here, and with a bit of luck I'm going to get this baby out of here. And there we go, boys. So another thing I'm going to take out is the mixture screw. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now usually these have a sort of a metal cover on them to stop you from manipulating them, but these are either they've been already taken off, and it looks that way, so they're easy access. So what I generally do is I like to screw it in, just leave the setting, so I screw it in firmly, but with care. So I'll just count 1. Sorry, that was a half. 1, 1.5, 2, 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 is the setting for the mixture screw. Now there's a couple of things in here that you're going to have to be careful about. Now there should be a rubber. Yeah. Now the reason for the mixture screw for not tightening it in so high is because look how delicate it is at the top, and you're just going to break the tip off it. Now these look actually quite nice. So in there is there should be another couple of things in there. There should be, I can see it from here, and that's where, okay, let's get this into number one. And this is where these things come in quite handy. Now I think this might go in deep enough, just to make sure. There's the baby. So there's the spring. Is there no? I'm not getting in there deep enough. So in general, the my rag is gone here. You always like a rag here. Doesn't matter if it's dirty. Okay, that looks nice. So that was number two. And to see if that spring will come out. There's the spring. Number two. I'm gonna hunt for washers because I know there's usually a washer in there, but so the diaphragms are in here, and these are not the originals here, but I like them. Stainless steel bolts, and you can crack them open really easy. Yeah, nice. And just screw the rest of these out here. So I'm just going to do one of these here for you to have a look at. Now, most importantly, when you get these things open them carefully, because sometimes the rubber sticks to the metal because of the heat or something like that, but these seem to be nice and loose, and they also, whoop, yeah, there's first of all a spring comes out on you, and that seems to be nice. I usually give them a little bit of a stretch out. Right, that's the diaphragm. This one's sitting nicely. You can see that it's sitting in its seat. It's been in there nicely, and that's the way it has to seat. So what I do is I curl up the ends, and you never pull on the rubber. So you can get your finger in and push it out from this end here, and the needle should come out with it. This little needle here, this wobbles around. That's normal, that's fine. I'm just going to check and have a look to see wear and tear on the needle, and I don't think there's any, it's not necessary for me to take it out. There's a clip in there, you can just undo the clip and then you can pull out the needle, but I'm going to leave them in. There's no real need to take those apart. Little look in, wear and tear on the bore, it's actually fine. These carburetors seem to be in really good nick. So I'm going to take off the other four. So the reason for taking out the diaphragms is actually because when they're in the bath, the water can flow through all the channels. So I think that number 2 carb was the one that was messing me up. So I have the stuff in the ultrasonic, and what I did was I put them into a sieve, and some of the bigger parts, the bowl covers and so on. So I put the small parts in a sieve, and they only take a few minutes actually. So I do around about 15 minutes a blast. I'm going to leave them in there, and at the end I'm going to stick in the carburetors like this and hope that I get this amount covered, and then I'm going to put them in like this. So what you actually have to do is you have to open them as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of I'm going to get a bit of wire, and I just wire this like this so that it's permanently open. That's what people forget to do. You get a lot more cleaned. Oh, baby, 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 baby. That should be it. So everything is open, so the water can go in and out. I can actually see a good bit of dirt in there. So that baby is looking forward to get cleaned. So I have the carburetors in the cleaning, and they're being ultrasonic cleaned right now. So the carbs are now out of the bath, and the noise is still there. Sorry about that, because I have the ultrasonic on. I've just got the jets in a smaller basket, in having one little last go. And resume to the whole thing is really the main jets came out nicely. Sorry, the pilot jet was damaged by the screwdriver. So the last person who put it in overturned it and broke it, because these are only little, these are brass, so you just have to be very careful. You just tighten them in, and I like to just put a tiny little bit of grease on them. Makes it easier taking them out again next time. And it was damaged here at the top. Now obviously he didn't think too much about it and said, okay, it's in, let's get it going. But when you damage it at the top, the fuel runs through the top and out of the 5 holes. So the fuel doesn't get in as cleanly as it should. And I reckon that's why the bike wasn't running properly. So anyway, I'm going to put the entire carburetor rack together again, except for the one pilot jet which got bust, and I've ordered a new pilot jet, so I'll be getting that hopefully in the post fairly shortly, and I'll do that. So folks, I'm basically done now, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get a sieve, and I'm going to sieve out the water here, because there could be a little rubber washer or something like that in there. So folks, what I'm up to now is I have a tool here, which is a cleaner, a tip cleaner, and what I'm doing is I am actually just this is the main jet, the ports, and there's 3 little holes here they go through, and there's 4 here, so I'm just going to poke this through and it should go out the other side. That's it, and I keep on doing this until I have both sides done. So I'll do the 4 first. So I'm not rubbing it, or I'm not filing it in any way. I'm just putting it through just to make sure that they are cleared. This fits perfectly here. I don't know what size, 77 to 75.75 millimeters. So, and then I'll do the 3. That's 1, 2, 3. The last one here, just to make sure. This is not going in. So there we go. So now we have the fuel screw or the mixture screw, and you have your needle, and then you put on your spring, and you put on the little washer, careful not to drop it, and then you put on your little O-ring and slide it on sort of a couple of millimeters on. So that's nice. Put it in here and give it a little tighten up. Where's my screwdriver? Yep, that's the one I want. So this is the perfect fit screwdriver. So until it's seated and you can feel it, that's it now. And I'm going to do 2 1/4 turns. Tighten her up. So make sure you go on the right threads on these, because if you don't, you've got a lot of work to do. So that's tight. And then again 2 1/4. A half. 1. 1 1/2. 2. 2 1/4. So what I do here now with the diaphragms, they're going in next. I just inspect to see that they are intact. So I'm just going to get a little bit of grease, and I'll just put it on the table here, and I'll just grease up the edges a little bit. That gives a nice seal. So just a tiny bit on the shaft here, and just a little bit on the needle. That gets that nice and sticky here. And what it does is, when I put it into the seat here, it'll sit on this beautifully. So now if you see, there's a little nick here, and if you have a look here, there's a little nick here as well. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to just drop them in nice and slow. Up, and make sure that nick is lined up. So now that I put on silicone, this should seat nicely here, and it's not really, it is sort of, and let me see, that's in. I could just put a little bit extra on. See, what it is you put on the cap, and when you put on the cap, you might just buckle this up here a little bit. So it definitely wasn't enough, so I'm going to put a little bit on the inner ring here. There we are, that's sticking now. So that's sitting beautifully. You just get your cap, and I go straight down on it and replace the screws.